fought the rest, now try the best!
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Roy Archon. I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan, and I've been in the FGC since 2013, and I've been around for quite a while. And I've been playing other fighting games, not just Mortal Kombat, but also like Tekken and Street Fighter, all of those stuff. And I've been in. I have this issue that's been going on for the longest time, not just regarding Mortal Kombat 1, but also basically every game from NRS and WB, that the FGC and especially the MK community really can't deliver. And and unfortunately, so many people in the FGC and especially the MK community, because I have so much stuff that can debunk everything they say, they don't really want to let me talk. So I was hoping that maybe you, Moonsword, can allow me to speak my mind and maybe give you and your audience some very important information about the current situation with Mortal Kombat 1 and what's going on with now in the fighting games in general right now.
Yeah, let's hear it. Pop off.
Okay, so as we all know, the DLC support for MK1 is now over, and while the support in general is still going to continue, the DLC support is going to be over. There are going to be some more skins coming up. But here's the thing. Ever since MK1 came out, it is all these discourse about MK1 that the game was rushed and there's no content in the game and yada, 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 yada. And it's objectively not true at all, okay? MK1 has not only the same amount of content that all of the previous NRS games had before, but it has more content than any other fighting game right now in the market. I mean, they say, because there are a couple of online features that were missing from previous games that were not there, then the game has no content, or that it doesn't have the crypt. So instead we got invasion, so it doesn't have no content, which is, again, it's not true at all. Invasions is the crypt and the Towers of Time combined into one. And regarding the online features, like, you know, having no public online rooms. And by the way, Moon, if you have any question, you can ask me. Nothing is off limits.
Okay.
Okay. So the idea that that there's no content, no features, is over exaggerated. It is completely overblown. Because, and also some of the what I wanted to say regarding the missing features, that yes, there are really a couple of online features from MK1 that were not that used to be in previous MK games, but they're not here. But I can tell you right now that those features that are indeed missing are actually an outdated features that were not necessarily there. Like, for example, the online rooms. Like having the multiple online rooms that people can go out and find casual matches or King of the Hill lobbies with each other. I used to go to MK11 in year 3 and year 4 of MK11, after the DLC for that game was ended up supported, and it was actually very difficult for me to find just one guy in the rooms, in the public rooms, that was both available and had good connection. It was like really difficult because the vast majority of people still went on to play either the Towers of Time or Combat League, which is ranked mode. So it's very clear that NRS, and this is true also for the crypt, is that NRS and WB realize that even though they can make so many different types of features and modes, at the long run, only very specific modes actually repeatedly getting played. In MK11's case, it was the Towers of Time and Combat League. So they said, okay, let's take the Crypt and Towers of Time and combine them into one, and let's add so many stuff to them, and that's how they got invasions. While for online, let's just put Combat League because that's the one feature that people are going to keep playing in the long run, but we are not going to make other the public rooms because in the long run, then nobody going to use them. And that's the thing. Video games nowadays, they take, and you know this also as well, video games nowadays, they take much more time and much more money to work on. So every single feature that they are going to add in the game, whatever it's at launch or like in an update, all of those stuff are going to take time and money and resources. So if they know in advance, and especially based on previous data, that a certain feature or a certain mode is not going to be played in the long run, they're not going to add it. It's not that they make less content. It's just they are making calculated decisions on what they want to do. About this whole idea of invasions, because here's the thing. I'm mainly a single player guy. I used to play fighting games on a more competitive level, especially MKX back in the day. But I'm now those days are behind me. But I'm more of a single player guy. But they also now get to say that MK1 has no single player content, and which is again is objectively not true at all. In fact, not only it's not true at all, I will go on and say that Mortal Kombat 1, when it comes to single player content, it is one of the best Mortal Kombat games and fighting games in general of all time. Not only the story mode is the best story on fighting games overall, but it does have an arcade mode. It has survival mode, which, by the way, I know that you Tekken fans, you were asking Bella and Namco to bring back survival mode for the longest time, as alongside Team Battle and such. And MK1 had this mode since launch, just like MK11 did, and MKX. Of course, you got single fight versus mode, and then you got combo trials, and then you got invasions. Just like MK11 had story mode, arcade mode, survival mode, single fight versus mode, and then had the Crypt and Towers of Time. MK1 instead of the Crypt and Towers of Time, they had invasions and combo trials. And invasions in specifically, yes, it obviously when it just launched, it only came like a very I don't want to say that he was empty, but it definitely was way less advanced than it is right now. Sure, it was way less advanced, but that's the thing. The whole point of Invasions was to getting updated more and more every season. Now we are in the season 4 in the second rotation, and we're still getting. And even though in terms of story, it's a repeat of season 4 from a year ago, we're still getting new types of mini games that we keep getting played. So, yeah, at the beginning, you made it, oh, it has very slow variety, but even back then, the variety was pretty good. And now, definitely, the variety is much bigger because, once again, that's the whole point of a mod like this, is to keep the mod fresh over time. And finally, I do want to bring one more thing about the gameplay style, about the cameos. Because they keep saying, oh, the casuals can say cameos. I'm sorry, but it's just total BS. Casuals, because here's the thing. I know that humans also have like a different idea what casual is. And I also probably have a casual, but at least when I think about the term a casual player, I think about the player that will just play the game for like a month, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and then maybe he would come back for like another week when a new DLC character comes out, and then we'll just drop the game and wait for the next DLC character to come out. That's what a casual to me. So if the player is not going to play for this long anyway, it doesn't matter what the mechanics are gameplay wise. They are not gonna get bothered by that. They're just gonna be for the story and the fatalities and the characters, some single player stuff. That's it. And then on top of it, when it comes to the cameos, the thing is that MKX and MK11, they had a variation system. MKX has the preset variation system, and MK11 had the costume variation system. Now MK1 has the cameo system, which is essentially an evolution of the variation system. But on top of that, it is a combination, because in MK11 Towers of Time, you could call assist of other characters, either characters that were in the actual roster of MK11, like having them coming off screen and just do a certain move, or you had a certain move from a character that was not playable in MK11, and they will have a projectile that coming off screen and just hit either character that was actually in the match. So basically what they did, NRS and WB, is that they took the variation system from MKX and MK11 with the assist consumable system from MK11 Towers of Time, and they combined them into one. That is what the cameo system is. And so that goes even further, that casuals don't care about it, in a negative way, I mean, because if you are a casual fan, at least in my definition, you're not going to get bothered by much at all. And if you are a single player guy like myself, that they played MK11 Towers of Time for the longest time, like I did, you are going to love the cameos because you use them as much as you could. And if you are a competitive player or an on-brand player that goes through training mode and trying to learn the game competitively and trying to all of the cool setups and all, you're gonna find that cameos can give you a lot of stuff, and they did. And on top of all of that, the cameo definitely fixed one of the biggest problem that the variations had, is that they don't take moves from the character's moves. They only add moves, because every cameo get different moves, but they don't take moves from one of the main character's movesets, which is one thing people did complain about, the variations in both MK11 and MKX, but now in MK1 this issue doesn't exist. So overall, both in terms of single player, in terms of the gameplay, in terms of the online functionality, MK1 has basically everything there is to play. And we do see this I actually even have I even see just this week that in April, the PlayStation blog just revealed that even for the month of April of this year, MK1 is in the top 20 most played PlayStation 5 games in both Europe and United States. And MK1 is just keep on running even after this announcement. So the say that the MK1 is dead and this and that, it just overblown. And I really wanted both you and your audience to hopefully understand that.